Mic check, 1 2 1 2.
Talk like how you gonna talk for real. I'm moving my shirt around to see if the mic like messes up with the. You know when rappers be having like mad plastic chains and it just be like. I hate that shit. I can't stand that.
Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of In Real Life, and today
What's up? Hi.
now we're gonna start over.
No, we don't. Hey y'all, what's up? My name is Lennox. I go by Lennox Ave. I'm done. Like, you can take it away. Back to you.
We're starting over.
Okay, cool.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of In Real Life, and today I got the homie,
What's
the
up?
big dog.
I mean, you know,
I call him Reed, but it's Lennox, like them all.
like them all. What's up, y'all?
Why you here, Lennox?
What?
Why you here?
I'm here to answer questions
It's to answer questions.
from a friend. I'm getting interviewed today.
I decided to interview him because he's pretty dope. He takes dope pictures, as you can see in the title. So I was like, why not?
I'm alright.
He did some things, y'all. But we about to get into that. How did we meet? You want to tell the story?
What?
How did we meet?
On set, I was working America's Got Talent, and so were you. So naturally,
Now the people know. I haven't really told anybody, but
we were not on set.
no, I haven't
were not
told them
on set.
like where. I haven't told a lot of people about that gig specifically.
We could have had a pre-production meeting, and you could have told me that, and I wouldn't have.
I'm gonna keep it in.
We on
It's
live
fine.
TV, and you got.
It's okay. I'm gonna keep it in. All right, let's get into the first question. How did you start photography?
How did I start photography? I got into it. Hand on the Bible, honest story. I had a crush on a girl. I was. Excuse me.
Huh? Keep
Oh,
going.
okay, cool. I was into it a little bit, like in high school, like towards the end, but like I wasn't gonna make that my major in college or whatever. But I went to college, saw a girl I liked. She was a photographer, or in the program, and I was like, "Yo, that's crazy. I love photography. What do you know? We should hang out all the time." So, are you rearranging my phone?
I am.
You know them bad interviews where niggas like take the microphone off and just, I'm out of here. Yeah. I had a crush on a girl. She was into photography, so naturally I was like lying about my interest in it. But then I actually got into it and learned a lot of stuff from her, and I guess kind of like took that into my own and developed my own style, and here we are.
Okay. Your
The
portfolio.
is quite. Oh, sorry. These milestones. It's funny you should ask me that.
Let me ask the question.
I'm trying. All right, cool. You got it.
So I did some lurking, of course, because I had to. You know, I'm interviewing somebody, and you gotta know your stuff. You gotta do your research. And his portfolio is pretty impressive. So my question to you is, what would you say has helped you achieve these milestones?
If I had to give you like a short fortune cookie answer, I'd probably say like humility, or something like that. A lot of,
popcorn.
huh?
I need some popcorn.
Oh, God, you funny. It's really more intangible stuff. It's a lot of who you know, how you left people, like, you know what I'm saying? Like leaving a good impression on somebody, and for a certain amount of it, your work got to speak for itself. But you could have great work and be a horrible person, and nobody's gonna want to work with you anyway. So the opportunities I got, yeah, some of it was because of me doing good work, but a lot of it was me being either easy to work with, humble, or just somebody that would work well with a team for like the type of stuff that I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
So
He is easy to work with, pretty laid back. So
got me this interview. So
what's your favorite aspect about this art form?
my favorite aspect about photography.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like my favorite type of photography, or like my favorite thing about it that like kind of comes with it. Actually, that's cliche. I was gonna say the people you meet, the connections you make, blah blah blah. Fuck that.
No corny cliche answers.
But you do meet some cool people. It's kind of cool to see the timeline, or not necessarily the timeline, but like the progression of things. Like I met somebody from a shoot I did in 2014. We went our separate ways, but we still had that like connection from our work together. They got an opportunity for something and needed a photographer, remembered me from mad long ago, and like stuff like that is kind of cool. Just how in photography you meet a lot of people, you go your separate ways a lot. Like it's a photo shoot is maybe like 2-3 hours, but if you work with people over and over, then you kind of see how y'all's career progression goes. And it's people that I worked with on sets that I met in a context where it had nothing to do with photography. But because I do that, I was able to meet these people and make those connections. So cliche, yes. The people you meet, the bonds you make, blah, blah, blah. But for real.
Again, during my lurking research, he has an interview.
Oh my gosh.
From like 2013, 2014 or something.
It's really
like
like
that.
2012.
Yeah, that. Of course, I watched it.
That was an amazing interview.
You said it was. It's really good.
Shout out to Desmond.
You talked about photography being a way of expressing yourself. So that's why I said, like, what was your favorite aspect about the art form? Because do you feel like there are other ways that you express yourself? Or is photography like the only way? Or, I know this is a lot of questions, it's really loaded.
I'm about to ask you to repeat all of it too. Go ahead, get it out.
Or do you feel like photography is your favorite way of expressing yourself?
For a time, I thought photography was my favorite way, but as I'm learning and progressing and doing like other tasks that I never thought I would do, I like camera operating, which is kind of along the same lines. But like if you had a live event operating the camera, that's kind of like, for me, like shooting a wedding. Like you don't get the moment back. You just either caught it or you didn't. You know what I'm saying? So I like that part of like expressing it. Camera operating, being like a director of photography, those other jobs that don't necessarily involve me taking pictures of a model or, you know, of an event. I like those two. That was the question, right?
Yeah.
You sure? Check your clipboard.
You go tell me.
My bad, you got to go. This is your interview, you right.
Describe your creative process.
Well, it depends on what I'm doing. Like, if I'm shooting a wedding, or like if I'm shooting something for a brand, or if I'm, just my creative process. Typically, I turn on my computer, and then I click this app that I use to edit my photos. Couple of clicks, drag a little bit, you know. All right, cool. What's my creative process?
Oh God.
Creative process. You got some lotion?
Yes.
I need some
It's
now.
in the car. It's in the car though. What? Are we pausing or are we
What's
just
my
gonna keep going?
creative process? Okay, so it's different processes or different approaches depending on what I'm shooting. But one thing that's typically standard across the board, whether I'm shooting like a wedding or something personal, or even if it's something like an event or whatever, I kind of have to get myself mentally prepared for it, and that starts when I wake up. Like I don't need any kind of negativity. I don't need nobody calling my phone multiple times. I'll do the do not disturb thing like the night before and just tune everything out until the shoot is done, and then come back, to whatever I missed. But I'll put myself under a rock and, listen to music or just kind of create the headspace that I need for this shoot to be successful, then worry about whatever else I had going on after that. So, yeah, not necessarily a creative process, but no matter what I'm doing, if I can control it, I'll tune everything out until the shoot is done and then welcome myself back to the world gradually.
That's interesting. I'm going to add in 2 cents. I used to kind of do that with dance. Yeah. So, but not necessarily, okay, if I had a performance, I don't really tune everybody out the day of. It's like right before, like 5, 10, probably like 30 minutes before I'm about to go on stage or perform or whatever. I won't talk to anybody. I got my headphones in.
People will ruin your mood right before you go on stage or something. And
it was more sort of nerves for me.
But
yeah, like it didn't matter. Been dancing since I was 4, but it didn't matter how long, what type of performance it was. I still get nervous before. Yeah. So
I think that's good. Having the nerves, like you're not numb to it, you still putting forth your best effort, so you get nervous about your best effort.
Yeah, but I can kind of understand what you mean by like, okay, I'm gonna tune everybody out. So.
I don't want to talk to no. Leave me alone, dog. Leave me alone.
Okay, so with social media,
I was serious. I did need some lotion.
2,000 years later.
What's up?
Worst person I've interviewed.
Depending on how you edit this, I'm gonna be dry hand, and then in like a split second, just be the shiniest handed nigga you done ever seen. You got a slate?
All right, so with social media propelling the spike of photographers, what makes a gifted or successful photographer? Everybody is a photographer now.
Yeah.
So I ain't even gonna lie. I'm sorry to cut you off, but when he told me at our job,
I was trying to answer.
When he told me at work he was a photographer, I was like,
me the question and then cut me off. I'm listening. I'm sorry.
When you told me that you was a photographer, I was like,
yeah, sure. That's what you thought, right?
Definitely was like, oh, another one.
You can see it in people's faces when you say it nowadays. Like, hey, I'm a photographer. Oh.
But I'm sure you felt the same way when I said I was a dancer, so.
Nah, I mean, I live in Atlanta, so it.
He thought I was that type of dancer.
No, I just knew that there was a follow-up question from that. Like, I'm a dancer. Okay, cool. Where? And if it's not a where, then it's a what kind, or whatever the case is. But yeah, were you asking me a question?
I was.
Because you cut me off before you.
I did. With social media propelling the spike of photographers, what makes a successful or gifted photographer?
In all honesty, persistence. Like, you could start for the wrong reasons, i.e. having a crush on a girl. Like, I didn't have goals set out and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna reach this benchmark or whatever. But if you stick to it and you learn things about yourself and about your eye and like, your skill level and stuff like that, you can start off for the wrong reason and then end up falling in love with it and treating it differently and approaching it differently. So I would just say fortune cookie, short answer, persistence is probably what. Don't look at them with this is not.
It's a good time.
I would say persistence is probably the best thing that anybody can do in terms of what you said is propellers. Somebody's successful with social media propelling the spike of photographers. What makes a gifted / successful photographer? Yeah, for real. Persistence. Stick to it. Don't give up. You ruining my answer. That was deep. For like
motivational speaker.
I had a moment
Come
here
on.
with the people. And
Come
you
on. Come on.
Stick with the kids.
What's your favorite type of shoot?
It changes. Like over time, it changes. But right now, I like events, like live event, like quality events. I like those. Those are what? If you whisper, you have a microphone.
I didn't whisper.
Got it. A lot of times it's just more fun. Like I'm not necessarily being micromanaged. If I'm a camera op, then I just kind of, stick to my assignments and do that. If I'm roaming like around in the crowd taking pictures, and I can, going back to the meeting people and creating connections and the cliche stuff, but I can meet people and get to know the audience that I'm shooting for, and stuff like that helps you formulate a story around the photos that you're taking versus just being somebody that's like, oh, they had a birthday cake. Oh, there was a belly dancer. Like you can kind of get into your photojournalism bag if you're able to get to know the people there, understand the vibe, like the context around the event, and you can do a whole lot more with it than you could other types of shoots.
Last question. You made it.
I wasn't scared. Do I get like a button? Like I survived interviews with Siobhan.
It's the last question. What advice would you give to a beginner?
Learn your manual settings, like the back of your hand. And if you really want to get better at something like this, then just stick with it. Like it's easy for somebody to say, oh, I'm gonna be a photographer. Do, what they would consider to be their best shoot and then just live off of, oh, I'm the shit.
Oh, live off of the history.
Yeah. And I mean, that kind of goes into another topic though. Keep at it. It's not easy. A lot of it is trial and error, and there's gonna be a lot of errors. So enjoy the learning process of it, because that's what makes photography cool. Like you're never at a point where it's like, I'm done. Or like, once you're a black belt in karate, like you just a black belt. How many more? Like you can't, you know what I'm saying? But in photography, there's always something new to learn, a different perspective, a different approach. You can shoot the same event twice and approach it a different way. So there's a lot of room for people to just like grow in their artistry and even revisit some of the stuff that they did early. I do that a lot too. Like I'll look at photos I edited and re-edit them with the new perspective that I have. And it keeps you sharp. It's something that nobody's perfect at. So it's easy, or for me, it's easy to meet people and talk about what I want to learn. Like, yeah, of course there's like pride and ego with certain people that you would meet, but for the most part, we understand, like photographers understand that they don't know everything about photography because there's no way to know everything about photography. So it's one of those things that you're always going to be a student. So for some people, it would be easy to give up. So persistence would really help you if you are a beginner.
Okay. That's all I got for you, kid.
Thank you.
You got anything else for the people? Any last words?
When do we get to interview you? You doing like am I the last one? Right? No?
I don't know.
All right. Well, when you're done interviewing all these people, do any of us get to interview you?
Y'all gotta stay tuned for that.
Oh, this motherfucker.
I'm definitely doing a last episode, and I'm, in the hot seat. So, y'all, just don't ask me crazy questions. That's all. Be in my business. But
all right,
other than that,
you got it.
other than
we
that,
don't want to interview you no more. It's done.
That's all we got for In Real Life. Thank you, Lennox.
No problem. Do you have like an outro song?
And not an outro song. I'm gonna see y'all next time on In Real Life. Peace.